Love this podcast? Support this show through the Acast supporter feature. It's up to you how much you give, and there's no regular commitment. Just hit the link in the show description to support now.
Shall we keep this bit in? Where you say all of that is secret.
You can get that on Patreon, maybe.
Yeah, you'll have to sign up for our newsletter to find about all this stuff.
Yeah, that we've been talking
that
about.
we've just been talking about off air. You'll find about that later. This is the Apollo Audio Podcast. Welcome to the Apollo Audio Podcast.
Woo.
It's Thursday evening. Is that an unusual day for us to do it?
Yeah, because we usually upload today, don't we?
Don't give that secret away.
Sorry.
Yeah, the podcasts are late. Should do the introduction properly. I'm music producer Martin Lumsden, and I'm here as always with Billy Hills, entrepreneur extraordinaire. We agreed that, didn't we?
Yes,
yeah,
every week
entrepreneur
now,
extraordinaire, owner of Apollo Audio. So here we are in the studio control room as, well, pretty much always.
Yeah. But we swapped seats.
We have swapped seats. I wonder if anyone could tell.
Might like pan to the left.
Well, yeah, we'll pan you to the right this time. But yeah, as always, well, we've always done this here, haven't we? You and I, we haven't done it anywhere else. I did a location recording podcast, live podcast. Maybe that's one for the future. We could do a live recording of the podcast.
Where at?
I did it in Coco in Camden.
Oh, yes, cool.
Yeah.
Was that in Adolf?
It's a cool venue. Do you remember that burnt down a few years ago?
Did it?
Yeah, I'd forgotten that. It had to be completely rebuilt because they had a big
Did
fire.
it really?
Not that long ago, about 6 or 7 years ago.
Wow.
They got a £77 million grant to rebuild it.
Does it cost that much?
Yeah.
Jesus. So I must have been there about 7 years ago. I probably mention him every week now. Ollie from Feet. They were supporting Declan McKenna, and I got to sound check his bass there.
Nice.
So cool. And he got the whole upstairs bit that looks out over Camden.
Yeah.
That might have been around the time, so I can't remember if that was before or after that, but what a cool venue.
So next year, we'll do the Apollo Audio Podcast live.
Where from?
Shall we
Just
do
in
that?
room 2?
Yeah,
change location.
In room 2, yeah. Why not? Yeah, we'll do it in front of a live studio audience.
Yeah.
That's the future. That's what all the big podcasts are doing. And we're one of the big podcasts.
Yeah. Oh, definitely in the Minram Road.
Yeah.
One thing we didn't mention, I don't know if that was last week or week before, was it the Mercury Awards, the music awards?
Yeah, because that I was thinking about that because it happened the same day that we recorded the podcast. I think.
I know Sam.
We'd been talking about Sam Fender,
Yeah.
And he won.
Yeah. Who else was up in the running for it?
Wolf Alice.
They're always up for it. Every year.
I know. I think Sam Fender. He definitely wasn't the favourite.
No, he looked really surprised when he got it, which I thought he's one of the biggest UK artists at the moment.
I think he definitely is, but he wasn't the favourite. And that song that you mentioned, the one that had Olivia Dean on it.
Oh, great song.
I don't think I'd heard it before you mentioned it.
Really?
I can't stop hearing it now.
Yeah, it's weird, them things, isn't it? Yeah,
Keep hearing it everywhere. Yeah, really good song. And that song is on the album, but it's only him.
Yeah.
On the album.
Yeah. Well done, Sam.
That's Sam Fender.
Do you know what I saw somewhere on social media? I think it was Pitchfork or some sort of big platform like that, a reputable source. For the first time since 1990 or something like that, in the Billboard Top 40, there's not a single hip-hop track.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's mental, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which I thought was sort of like next to like pop music like Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
I thought that was like a close number 2.
So what is filling it all up then? Is it all like
singer-songwriter
pop stuff?
Yeah, I think it must be.
I mean, I don't pay that much attention to the Billboard chart,
Yeah.
obviously. And the American chart, the Billboard chart's always been slightly odd in that it accounts for a lot of airplay as well as sales.
Okay.
So what's being played on the radio,
Yeah.
there's a waiting for the stuff that's getting played.
Oh, well.
Not just the stuff that's selling or being downloaded.
Yeah.
So they've got a slightly different way of representing what is the Hot 100.
Yeah.
That's why you get sort of slightly odd results somehow out in there. But that is interesting.
I couldn't believe that. For a top 40 as well, you thought at least one. Like a Drake, I don't know, because he's not always rappy. Sometimes he's a bit, I don't know, I thought we'd at least have one of them in there. But
yeah. I'm sure somebody's going to come along and say, wait a minute though. That one's got a hip-hop influence on it.
It's got influence. But
that's interesting. And, just in general, that discourse about there not being any bands anymore, which is obviously not true, but what is true is that bands don't hit the charts as much anymore. So it's unusual to see a band at number one. It tends to be, like you say, your Sabrina Carpenter's, Taylor Swift's.
It's easier to package, isn't it, for like a like one person, one name.
Yeah.
Like a Sam Fender is easier to package than if it's a band.
I think so. But I think in the past, I think it's less true now that the charts used to be more of an indicator of what people listened to. Where that is true, but it's only what they listen to in large number. And this sounds stupid, but it doesn't mean that other things aren't really popular. Like we've spoken about before, like if you can get a band like Catfish and the Bottlemen who can fill out the Tottenham Stadium, and they're not having hits, and haven't ever really had hits, but they've got a massive audience that can fill a stadium like that. And I remember a mate of mine saying he went to an O2 show with his son. And he said he would go and see, and I have never heard of that. Never heard of that artist. And they're selling out the O2.
Yeah.
It used to be more prominent, who was in the charts was basically who was doing well. But that's less true now, I think. And more, even to the point that, as you said last week, I think, the charts are filled up with multiple versions of the same artist.
Yeah.
Which wouldn't be the case before.
A lot of artists that have just one song that's big on TikTok, even though they've got a billion streams, they still wouldn't sell out the O2.
No.
Because they've got one song that they're famous for, and no one delves into their sort of back catalogue of stuff.
Yeah. The other thing I felt like I should mention, because we talk about death on this podcast regularly. Do you know who Soft Cell were? Do you know Soft Cell? So Dave Ball, the less famous member of Soft Cell, died last week.
Christ.
As well, so that was a little sad. That was a hugely successful band, early 80s.
What are they? Dun. What's that one?
Tainted Love. I think it sold 21 million copies or something. Tainted Love. It was huge. 1981, I think, in the UK and the US. It was, that's one of in the days when like singles went huge. And that's obviously sales. That's nothing to do with download streaming. But it will still be downloaded and streamed now. That song, because it's just an all-time sort of 80s classic. It was written by a guy. It was a Northern Soul song originally, so it'd been a hit. Well, was it even a hit?
What is Northern Soul? I don't know what that phrase means.
I don't really know either, if I'm really honest. But it's. I think it's because in the clubs in the north we play these sort of soul tracks. So there's a lot of these sort of fairly underground, sort of Motown-ish, but not as successful as Motown songs. But they became very popular in clubs up in the north of England, I think. I've probably got that completely wrong. And Tainted Love was one of those that they obviously knew that song, but it had been maybe a minor hit in the 60s, a little bit well known. But they took that song and made it massive. So the guy that wrote that song had left the music business years before. Apparently he ran a horse farm or something like that.
Oh wow.
And he made loads of money off the back of that version because obviously he wrote it, so he got all the publishing. Soft Cell did all right of it because of the recording, but the actual song itself is obviously what makes most of the money, as we know. So he made Minted, but then not just.
So is it a cover then?
Yeah. So it's a version of this 1960s Northern Soul song that was sung by a female singer, written by this American guy, and then became this huge hit latterly after he'd long left the music business, and he got minted off the back of this huge success from Soft Cell. But not only that, because then the Soft Cell version was sampled by Rihanna for SOS. So Soft Cell made more money off the recording because of the sample, but it was still Tainted Love, so he's still credited as a writer on that Rihanna song as well. So he made it money again.
Yeah. Well, Marilyn Manson did it.
Did a cover because of the Soft Cell version, but Soft Cell made no money from that because he was covering the original version, not Soft Cell. So
wow.
It's crazy. So this guy made an absolute fortune off the back of having written the song years ago and
somebody
somebody else covering it.
Yeah.
So it's incredible.
What's the most covered song ever, you think? It's got to be Hallelujah.
Yes, it's got to be up there. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be something like Yesterday, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Or Beatles one. Here Comes the Sun.
Yeah.
Or something.
They love it in movies now where they just do slowed down, sad versions of songs, don't they? Every single movie trailer you do.
We might never get to the album this week because there's so much to talk about that. You're so right. And I don't think it was the movies that started that. I think it was John Lewis.
Yeah.
I think it's their fault.
Yeah. They do Half the World Away.
Yeah, just like a slowed down, acoustic, gentle version of a song that you already know.
Yeah.
And then just like every year it was that, and it was
massive reverb on it. Remember there was one really weird one that someone did. I mean, it's one of my favourite songs, but they did Black Hole Sun. I It's such a rogue choice. It's like sad and slow enough already.
I know.
You don't need to make it even sadder and slower.
There was one year for the John Lewis advert, they had a Beatles song covered by Elbow.
Oh yeah, I remember that
and I
one,
thought this has completely got away from the original idea. Surely the idea initially it was the idea of this is a song you sort of know but don't really know that well, covered by an artist that you've never heard of before. And I think Ellie Goulding did one year before she was like big.
Yeah.
And it was all this kind of, oh, who is that?
Yeah.
And then when you've got the Beatles covered by Elbow, you're like, no, none of them need the money. Come on, give someone else a go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you. It became such a tradition, and X Factor's got a lot to do with that as well. The sort of, well, I mean, Lewis Capaldi's built a career on it.
Yeah.
It's like a big belting chorus over a slow acoustic track.
Do we know who it is going to be this year?
Got a lot of time for Lewis Capaldi, but you know, it is a kind of he's found a.
Do you know him?
He's found a niche.
You must know him. He's Scottish.
I know him? Yeah, we went. Yeah, we went to the same chippy. That's a fish and chip shop, by the way, not the same carpenter. That would be weird.
Right, should we talk about the album?
We probably should, because otherwise I could go on for ages about all this stuff. Tune in next week for more stuff about
more stuff.
Once we know what the John Lewis had. Maybe they've moved on. Will they have moved on?
No.
This week's album, Chocolate, Starfish and the Hot Dog Flavoured Water by Limp Bizkit. Because we thought we have to do this because we talk about Sam Rivers, who sadly died at the age of 48, and Limp Bizkit, one of your favourite all-time bands, right?
Yes, definitely. I didn't have to listen to this one like front to back like I usually on my runs because actually I've known this album since I was about 5-6 years old. It was always Rollin' was always on Kerrang. Growing up, it was just everywhere on TV. Was it 2000? I think released in 2000.
2000, I think this one. 2001.
So I was 4 or 5 at the time. I think it was my second album ever. Silver Side Up by Nickelback was my first one, and then this one was later. And I remember going into HMV or Virgin. I think it was Virgin.
You admitting to a Nickelback album? Did you just say?
My first ever album was Silver Side Up by Nickelback.
Okay.
That it is.
Kudos to admitting to that. I like it.
That album is incredible. That was released on 9/11. That album. Little factory there. Anyway, so I remember getting that my second ever album. I think it was the first album I personally bought because I got given like for my birthday. I was like, I want that. But it's the first album I went in there, and I couldn't remember the name of the track. I was going up to the guy, and I started singing like Rollin'. He's like, I know what it is.
Yeah.
Gave me the CD, and I put it on in the car. And then the second track is Hot Dog with 54 F words in it. I couldn't listen to it, basically. But it made me want to listen to it more, so I'd like listen to it like secretively or wait till it came on Kerrang. Yeah. And because the way... I probably haven't listened to that album front to back for a good 10 years. Because it's got so... I didn't realise until I came to it. It's got so many hits. Well, hits in the sense like music videos and stuff like that. I completely forgot it was all on the same album. So Hot Dog is like a live staple that's kind of a big TikTok song now anyway. It's like basically like a single in itself. You've got My Generation, you've got Rollin'. Yeah. Boiler is one of my favourites. It's not a massive one, but they still released as a single. Yeah. Full Nelson is a massive live track they do now, again doing bits on TikTok. Living Up has always been a massive one. I could name you all the tracks. I think it's all killer. Maybe there's Get a Groove On is not the best one. But it's one of the only albums that I know probably every single lyric of. And it was a joy to listen to again, because I haven't done it front to back in such a long time. I've always skipped it. And you take a look around, Mission Impossible.
Yeah, I mean,
incredible.
For me, that was I'll come back to that. But for me, that was the top track. When that came up, I was like, I remember this. Yeah, and also, this is cool. But and it's like, I didn't actually remember it being Limp Bizkit. Yeah. But yeah.
Well, that's how you think Limp Bizkit. Like some people think it's a bit of a joke band. And I know the whole new metal thing.
Yeah, I do.
Was a bit of a was a bit of a thing. As like you either loved it or you hated it. Yeah. And I think Limp Bizkit, especially Fred Durst, were lumped in. They were like the biggest new metal band, and Fred Durst was hated. But they were like this album. I thought was so cool. They released this album at the Playboy Mansion, and I was like, "This is like the coolest thing in the world." Anything about that? Because I was massively into WWE, like all American culture, like skateboarding, WWE, this sort of music. This was the Undertaker's theme tune, Rollin'.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. So it's a very. If you listen to Rollin', it's not. I'd probably skip it now, but when you're like 6-7 years old, it's such a an easy track to listen to. The chorus, it kicks straight in with the chorus. Yeah. it's rappy, it's hip hoppy, it's more like pop, and
Yeah, talking about, like you said earlier on, hip hop influences.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Like there's new metal with hip hop influence. That's
Yeah.
very, very prominent in that song particularly,
Yeah.
but in this album generally.
yeah, and I've just loved it. And then I think like when I got more into hip hop in my, I suppose when I was around 16, 17, like really just purely hip hop rather than like rock with hip hop, I was like, Limp Bizkit and the new metal bands are a massive part of it. Like, I love the rapping, I love like the groovy side to it. It's because I grew up on like the new metal hip hop sort of side of it, and that's a massive part due to Sam Rivers and John Otto, the drummer, because they're a groove based band.
Yeah.
And obviously you got the rapping of Fred Durst and that, but I absolutely loved it and I really enjoyed listening to it.
That's so cool. Like, I think I've said that about revisiting albums before, like getting the chance to revisit something and oh god, yeah, I'd forgotten.
Yeah.
Like listening to this all the way through.
Yeah.
That's cool that you had that. I hadn't done before. No inclination to listen to Limp Bizkit to any degree in the past. Just not my scene.
Yeah. Did you recognise many of them?
Well, I remember rolling because it was the number one, wasn't it? It was a big hit.
Yeah.
I think I can remember this is MTV era as well,
Yeah.
so big video hit as well. So I knew that. I'd read curiously, and I think we might have brought it up on the podcast. I'd read about Hot Dog. Because of it's basically a diss track, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's like something that Trenton Reznor from Nine Inch Nails had basically said something slightly disparaging about Fred Durst at some point, basically saying his music shit, I think, was basically the crux of it. So then Fred Durst had written this song saying how shit Nine Inch Nails were, but used loads of Nine Inch Nails lyrics in it, so I ended up having to credit him as a writer on the song. I can't get massively away from my prejudice about this, which was, I like you said, this idea of it being a joke act. And unfortunately, I think they made a rod for their own backs by, the title of the album. Yeah. It's just such a weak joke, really.
Yeah. But I think they do that on purpose. Like the fact they called it Bizkit, it's like if you hate us, you hate us. If you love it, you love it. Like,
I did read, I think it was in Wikipedia or something. He said the Limp Bizkit, the title of the band was because they wanted it to annoy people, and I guess with the name of the album as well.
But it's iconic now, don't you think?
But I think it's to the detriment of the band. That's what I mean. From if anyone's like me, they're just going to think, like you said, it's a bit of a joke, and they're a bit of and it's a stupid joke, and some of what Limp Bizkit became associated with Woodstock '99 and the misogyny and the anti-Britney Spears and all that kind of stuff that I remember, just put me off. So you've got that prejudice coming into the album. And my feeling was it wasn't quite strong enough to overcome that feeling of, he's a bit of a dick, isn't he?
I've never understood why people think he's a dickhead.
Yeah.
Because I suppose I didn't grow up being like fully aware of it at the time. I wasn't an adult. He's just always been my idol, and I think he's very funny. I think he's very tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
And I think that annoys people, and I think he plays up to it. And I can get why people annoy him. I think some people got an annoying voice, but I think he was just everywhere at the time as well. Yeah. They were the biggest band in the world at the time.
Yeah, I get that. So I'm acknowledging I brought that prejudice into it, and it's like some of the things, like the title of the album, don't help with that prejudice. No. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
So I was trying, and it wasn't the music wasn't quite strong enough for me to be able to put that to one side and think, is this all just stupid frat boy dickish humour?
Yeah.
But I'd say there's three really strong tracks on it that I thought were these are proper, worth listening to, and probably because I've heard them before, I'm more familiar with them. My Way, Rollin', and Take a Look Around were the ones on the album that I thought.
My Way is my most listened to track ever.
These are strong. Yeah. These are good. The one thing I would say about My Way, and I'm going to diminish this point I made, I thought those are really strong, those are really good on the album. The rest of it I felt, it's okay. And nothing really stood out apart from those songs. And My Way sounds like Linkin Park. But Linkin Park's better. But
Linkin Park, so this is coming out in 2000. Yeah. It's their third album.
Yeah.
Linkin Park's first album was 2000.
It's fair enough. I say it sounds like Numb, right?
That's sort of like feeling to it. Yeah.
That song, it's got the same vibe. It's probably got the same chord sequence.
So
I don't know.
Surely Linkin Park sound like Limp Bizkit.
Yeah, I mean that'd be fair, but that's the way I'm thinking of it. So I was thinking, I kept expecting it to go into Numb, and it didn't. I was like, because I thought, this is Numb. Oh, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not Linkin Park. It's Limp Bizkit. So it's that sort of familiarity. And then the other one that I thought was really strong, as you've already mentioned, was Take a Look Around, which is basically written by Lalo Schifrin. It's not written by Limp Bizkit. it's Mission Impossible with Fred Durst lyrics on it. It's cool though, and the band fucking nail it. All the changes and all that bit, and it's so good. But that was the bits that really appealed to me, and the rest, not really.
Do you think you'd like it if it wasn't Fred Durst singing? Because the actual musicians, the instrumentations, the little dropouts that John Otto does.
Yeah.
Wes Borland's my favourite guitarist ever. His effects and everything, as a three-piece band, they are all incredible. What they do, they're so in the pocket. They're so synced up. They're so different, and I think Fred Durst, you either love or you hate him, but you can't deny the band.
Yeah.
Are excellent.
No, I say I'm acknowledging I brought a lot of prejudice into it, and I couldn't massively overlook that. And this, unfortunately, is damning with faint praise, because I was thinking that, like you said, the band, they're really good, but also I didn't really find anything in it that I thought was awesome. Okay. And I think it's just an absence of real sort of hooks and really like strong melodies. I think they play it brilliantly, but there's nothing that brilliant about what they're playing, if you know what I mean, to me.
Yeah.
It wasn't a horrible listening experience. It was listening to things that are just shit in the past and things that were boring. I don't know if this is the first one that comes to mind. Compare it to the Sleep Token album, for example. Yeah. Which is like, what's the point?
Yeah.
This is just like, okay, so good, but whatever.
Yeah.
There's more to this album than there is to that, in my view. And what was it? What was the other one we listened to recently? That was just like Too Clever by half.
Tool.
Tool and Lateralis. That was just way too clever, and I'm not going to accuse Limp Bizkit of being way too clever. It was a way more enjoyable experience than that, but that doesn't mean that it was a hugely enjoyable experience. I could happily have it on without getting annoyed by it or bored by it, but there were definitely 3 tracks that really stood out, and the rest just sort of passed me by a little bit.
Do you listen to the one? Do you know that they're all like poppy, sort of like...
I listened to it all.
Yeah, but did that stick out? Because I thought, going into this, I thought Martin will like that one, because they can go a bit funky.
I mean, maybe, and if I listen back to it again, it might be, oh yeah, I see what you mean. But I said there were ones that definitely, when it got through the first, there's this intro thing, and then you've got Hot Dog, My Generation, which you'd mentioned to me before, and just didn't appeal to me at all. And then Full Nelson, and then it got to My Way, and it was like,
yeah,
now I'm listening. My Way, immediately that came on, it was like,
the guitar riff, the bass line,
cool.
everything.
And then it goes into Rolling, and I'm familiar with that one because I've heard it a lot more. So like, oh right, now I'm into this album and I get it. And then it sort of, just sort of passed me by a little bit until we got to Take a Look Around, and the same thing, it just piqued my attention again. Yeah. The rest was just kind of, it's all right. It was going on. Yeah. And I wasn't like, as I said, I've got bored and annoyed by some other albums that we listened to. I didn't get bored or annoyed by this, but nothing really stood out to go, other than those sort of 3 songs that really did. Again,
I don't want to slag off Fred Durst, because he is Limp Bizkit. People think of, unless you really into Limp Bizkit, you only really know Fred. Yeah. I think a lot of musicians, the guitarists, know Wes Borland and that. But I was listening, it was like somebody screaming. If you're into that sort of metal side of things, growing up, because I was just listening to it, and it has got a pop edge to it, because it's hip hop and stuff like that. But it's only when you put on this sort of music to people that don't listen to this sort of music, you realise how heavy it is. Yeah. And somebody screaming is incredible. And if you're into that sort of stuff, you can appreciate how a scream can be technical and be good, and he's got so much emotion to it. Like, Boiler, I was thinking, like, this could be an emo track. Yeah. All my sort of stuff in life, I've loved fusions of stuff, like bit food and music, stuff like that, and I think they mix it so well. I think it's so cool, and I think that's just the best, when you can bring all them sort of different bits together. And he is a pioneer, like Fred Durst. He was like, he knew he wanted to make this sort of music, and he went out of his way and met these people to make this sort of, and he created a movement. It's fascinating reading these things. I see you kind of look up stuff like Wikipedia or some biography that I was looking up. When Limp Bizkit started, like you said, I think they met at school or something. He was a tattoo artist, but he wanted to be in a band, and he met the guys from Slipknot, Korn, and Deftones. That they were kind of met up with them early days before they were going out, and I think he gave their demo tape to the guys from Korn, and on the back of that, Korn recommended them to the label. Yeah. And the reason that I mentioned that is, like, coming back to stuff we were talking about before. How do you get people to be in demand to you? It's like, it's amazing. You think, so Limp Bizkit, their breakthrough, and this is before Korn were massive. This is when Korn were just starting out as well. But
there's three names immediately that you go like, oh, they were all in that same sort of area and all talking to each other and all became, to varying degrees, massively successful. What's the equivalent? How are we going to do that? If you were a band now, you think, oh, all I need to do is meet the equivalent of the next
Well,
Korn
you do say
in order to meet my pitch. But it is like...
It's who you know,
It's
isn't
fascinating.
it? Everyone's always said that. It's who you know.
Yeah.
I know. I think we have to agree to disagree on some parts because I know it's not your sort of music. You probably love some sort of stuff that I really don't like. But if you're a new metal fan, I don't think it's much better than this. Like,
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Because I know you didn't say there's not many hooks, but this is probably like the hookiest sort of metal sort of stuff you can get. Like people sing when you go to a Limp Bizkit show, it's fun as well, isn't it? It's like you want to mosh to it, you can dance to it, you're popping your head to it.
Yeah.
I think there's a little bit for everyone, even if you're not. There'll be something on there, like they've got a track that's completely hip hop.
Yeah.
And they've got that last one in the end, Hold On.
Yeah.
That's what's his name from Stone Temple Pilots, the first verse.
Oh, is it Scott Weiland? Is it?
Yeah.
Scott Weiland.
And I thought,
did he produce this actually?
did he?
I think he might have been involved in production
cool.
at some point with Limp Bizkit. But yeah.
I always thought until yesterday, Fred Durst has got a lovely voice in that first. He's really trying really well here because it sort of kind of sounds like him.
Yeah.
And I never knew that. And I think that just proves their ability as musicians as well, that they can do that sort of thing.
Yeah. Like I said, acknowledging I came into this with a lot of prejudice about, I don't really like Fred Durst, I don't really like Limp Bizkit. And that wasn't my experience of listening to it, wasn't a kind of affirmation of, I don't really like this.
Yeah.
I was like, no, this is all right.
Yeah.
And there's 3 tracks that really stood out, but the rest I could sort of take it or leave it.
Yeah.
It wasn't I didn't think it was amazing.
Yeah.
It was just kind of all right. But there's 3 tracks that are really good, and you can sort of see why they're successful on the back of those 3 tracks. You can kind of experience.
They're probably more
it.
of the 3 tracks I skip now because I know them. There was on rotation so much.
Yeah.
Do you know when you buy the single and then you throw the album tracks
and then
after
you
a
get
while?
into the deep cuts
Yeah.
later. Yeah,
So
absolutely. That's one of the joys of an album.
Yeah.
And like I said, and equally, it said you've got the advantage of me if you like, in that you're familiar with this. So it's like going back to an experience that you enjoyed before. So you're re-experiencing something. Whereas it's the first time I've sat down and listened to a Limp Bizkit album, and I've got 5 days. To kind of think, when will I listen to it? What scenario will I be when I'm listening to it? And as we've said before, sometimes your first experience can be like, it was all right. Yeah. And then you hear it again later and go, do you know what, though?
Yeah.
Actually, this is really cool. Oh, that's that song I recognise. What's that from? Oh, it's from that bloody album that I didn't really pay much attention to and then realised it's awesome.
And I bet if you saw them, you'd enjoy it. Like, when I saw them at Reading a few months ago, they're probably the band I've seen the most times now, about 6 or 7 times. There was kids, 15, 16 years old, wearing red caps everywhere, singing every single song. This girl got brought on stage, she must have been 16, 17, knew every single word to an album track, Full Nelson.
Yeah.
Listen back of it, because I already had Sam Rivers on my mind, because I woke up to that, and I was like, I just sort of go, oh, but then a few minutes later you think, oh, this is shit. Like, he was 19 when he first joined the band, when the first album, and it made me listen to the bass lines more, and they're just so cool. And he hits some notes that you don't think would work, and they do, and he just sits on it, and he's so synced up with the drums, because they're cousins and that as well. Yeah. And it's such a huge part of the sound, because I find when you're just a 3-piece, you've got to make the bass melodic as well. Yeah. And he does that, and you can sing along to the bass lines. He's never, well, sometimes he does, but he's never usually just playing like 8s on the bass and just going along. He's got his own melodic sort of bits.
See, I think that's really cool as well, the way you're presenting that as well. It's one of the things we've said. You know, we're obviously talking about this as music lovers, and people listening to this are probably music lovers as well. And we sort of think that maybe everyone has the same degree of interest, like in big wide world. And as we've said before, there's lots of people who go, I don't really listen to music. Yeah. You're like, what?
I find that mental.
I know, I find it mental as well. But then, say you take that to the next degree, that one of the big impacts this had on you wasn't just the songs and Fred Durst, but it was Sam Rivers and his bass player, which you've become a bass player as you've gone, and you play bass, you play guitar as well. So there's that that's another level of inspiration that you've gone down to. And I was the same. I used to think that everyone cared about who produced albums, and then I realised no one gave a shit. And you'd name producers, and they go, I don't know who that is. But I still. And they go, but he produced your favourite album. And they're like, I don't care.
Yeah. Sort of the flip side of that though is like, it's probably my algorithm was it, but you think Limp Bizkit, like they're a big band, but again, might be a jokey band to some people. They're my favourite band. I take them, not take them seriously, but I love them. Yeah. It was everywhere when he died, like BBC News sort of thing. I got a bass player from Limp Bizkit has died. Yeah. A massive modern, like, not pop but hip hop artist, Thundercat bass player, said Sam Rivers was one of his main influences. Yeah, yeah. And you think, oh, it's a bit of a niche Limp Bizkit's bass player.
Yeah, yeah.
He's had such an effect on the modern music, and it really made me realise how much of an influence he actually is.
Yeah, yeah. Last week when we said we would do this, I was like, Fred Durst's a bit of a dick, though, isn't he? I've got nothing to base that on, really.
Yeah.
Not really.
And I think when you keep saying talk about him live, but you think he's a dick, and people do, and because they don't take themselves seriously. They are a bit of a jokey sort of band, like the album title. But you see Wes Borland when he comes on stage, he is dressed like they are so different, and like Fred Durst now will come in on stage with a massive afro wig, and like they are sort of
picture.
I think they've got so many personal jokes that they've just. I can imagine like I'm a bit like that. My mates, we've got so many personal jokes that let's put it on the album. Everyone will find it funny.
Yeah.
But it's only personal jokes that no one else does. You think, that's a bit shit.
Yeah.
And I think they're just like that as a band, and they want to put their personality across.
Well, there's that. I mean, that's
and people get annoyed by
there's
that.
a 9-minute additional outro track on the end of this album. Absolutely an in-joke. I don't know what the hell is going on in that, or what it's supposed to be about. There is about 4 minutes of just some guy laughing.
Yeah.
At something, presumably.
Yeah.
But you can't hear what he's even laughing at.
But I think that's very hip-hop influence, like the skits you get after. At the end of that, and you've got these beautiful sort of segues. I think that's so cool that aren't part of the track. Yeah. And I do think, I don't know if it's on the like official thing, but you got Rolling Like Assault Vehicle. Always skip that. I don't really count that as an album track. That's sort of like an added one.
Yeah, that feels like an ad. And then, unnecessary. But that's got like Method Man and stuff on it, does it?
Yeah. Because they did one of my favourite ever hip-hop tracks, End Together now, on the album before.
Yeah.
Is with Method Man, so they got it again. But they sort of fell off a bit after this album because Wes Borland left.
Yeah.
And then they've always sort of been big, but it's their sort of first three. Like they released an album a few years ago.
Released a single last month.
Yeah, that's actually great. It's really good.
Yeah.
But
again, another very curious title.
Yeah, but, but their live set is mostly albums 2 and 3.
Yeah.
With a mix of singles and other ones. But if you want to get into Limp Bizkit, you listen to this album.
Yeah, and who would you say as well? I mean, this is from like 25 years ago, right? So if you're into something that's a bit more contemporary now, what's it? Who's been influenced by Limp Bizkit? I suppose
Body.
That's what I'm saying. Body. There you go.
Yeah.
So if you like Limp Bizkit, you'll love Body.
Yeah.
And if you like Body, you'll like Limp Bizkit.
Yeah.
Is that what we're saying?
Yeah.
I suppose just even like pulling threads back as well. There's got to be a bit of a connection between the likes of Prodigy.
Oh yeah.
As well, because it's weird how these things come. After we did our episode about Prodigy, I was hearing someone else talking about the Prodigy and that album coming out in '97, and saying like the thing about the Prodigy was they were a live rock band. So when they went out and played, it's guitars and drums and all that. It's not DJ decks and samples and stuff. It's a rock band when they go on tour. And I think again, you kind of got there's probably a line between Prodigy, Firestarter, Limp Bizkit.
Yeah, because it's groove based. You could dance to both.
But it's a rock band as well.
Yeah.
That's what it's the combination of those two things.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
But I loved it. So thank you for letting me have this album this week. It was an absolute pleasure.
The joy of it for me as well, things that I might just naturally avoid and never listen to, and therefore you can never really have an opinion on.
Yeah,
because I could just quite happily have gone, never listen to Limp Bizkit, Fred Durst's a dick. And now I can listen to and say, well, I'll listen to that album. And you know what? It's all right. There's some really banging tracks on it. Some of it's a bit odd. There's a thing at the end that you can skip.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's cool. And there's plenty of music that's been inspired by it over the last 25 years. You can probably find that loads of those, like I said, anything that's sort of new metal, anything that's sort of dance-oriented rock, they've probably been at some point inspired or influenced by Limp Bizkit.
Oh, absolutely. If you was born in the 90s, you'd grow up with it. Like they were everywhere. And if you're an adult around that time, you there's no chance you don't know who Limp Bizkit are.
Yeah.
Like on the culture as a whole sort of thing, that sort of new metal, or that whole skateboard and WWE, that sort of American sort of culture.
Yeah.
It's all on my TikTok now. It's like the nostalgia stuff for me, even though I'm 28, is take me back to this time where it's 2002.
28 for now.
For now. And it is taking you back to all the sort of like MTV sort of clips. And it was so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, loved it.
Yeah, nice. So there you go. Fred Durst, I take it all back.
Yeah.
I just didn't know. So respect. Yeah, I mean, I do. I honestly mean that. I think respect is due for the culture and the influence that they have.
Yeah.
It's huge, right? So, yeah, good stuff. Any other business, Billy?
Body, got a gig coming up next month that we're.
Well, that's important. We need to say that.
Blondie's our first ever headline show. Volva, who have been on the podcast before, is supporting us.
Yes. So
No,
Blondies.
great.
So you're playing Blondies in November,
No, Thursday the 11th of December.
11th of December at Blondies. How do people get tickets for that?
Go to Body's Instagram, Bodyband UK, and there's a link there for that.
So we'd love to know what you think of the podcast. We'd love to know what you think of any albums that we should listen to, or if you have an opinion on any of the ones that we have listened to so far. Do let us know. Like and subscribe. Share the podcast with your friends if you think that it's fun.
Who should they email?
So you can find us on social media at Apollo Audio Podcast. On Instagram is the main one. There is now a YouTube channel as well, which is specifically at Apollo Audio Podcast as well. If you want to email us, don't write to the email address that I've been saying on the podcast for the last year, because it's wrong.
Why is no one emailing us?
I'm pretty sure they hadn't anyway.
Yeah.
It is apolloaudiopod@gmail.com. That is apolloaudiopod@gmail.com. Which I have been saying completely wrong since we've done... any time I've mentioned it, I've got it completely wrong. So
You can go back and edit all them
I was going to
episodes
say, if you have been emailing us, sorry for not getting back to you, and sorry for not acknowledging you, idiots. But there you go. Always great to have a discussion with you, Bill.
You too.
And so we'd love to hear from you. Apollo Audio Hartford is your best place to come if you want to make your way in the music business. We would love to hear from you and see how we can help you. See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Are you sure you forgive me?